你都可以收钱呢，问路的这么多。
我这个人跟你说不爱财。
Right now looks to be a cathedral to 华为。
我什么？我没当兵之前，我性格很内向的。
哦，那现在呢？
现在可以了。
现在好多了。那也是好事。Good morning, folks, from a warm spring morning here in Wuhan. Today we're off to see the Barbarian King. I was going to take the subway, which I can go that way, but there's a bunch of fire trucks there. And since our encounter with a very grumpy fireman the other day, who essentially kicked us out of a football stadium, I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go this way. I'm not sure what firemen are like where you're from, but in New Zealand, firemen, when they're not fighting fires, are generally super friendly folk. If you've got kids, you encounter a fireman, they'll ask them, you know, kid, ever sit in the fire engine? Turn the sirens on briefly. Here, have some colouring in and some pencils. Remember to put smoke alarms in your house. Yeah, I couldn't have got a more different impression from the fireman that we encountered the other day. So we're not going that way, but we can go this way. Subway station, Barbarian King, and also a brief stop in Spain. It'll all become clear later. Let's get going. There's supposed to be a bit of rain today, some showers, but not raining at the moment, but it's muggy, very, very humid. And our escalator, which doesn't work because the roof's been leaking, still out of operation. Right, so today we're here, we're going to transfer at line 2 and then head all the way down here. So it's a fair trek. We may stop here to see if our favorite shop owner is open today. Hey,
你好，
你今天在这里？
哎，
星期我就去了那个武汉大学，看樱花，
对，
没了。
樱花的季节是完了。
对。
哎，师傅，我把电瓶车停在这里，我把钱给可以啊，我只停一下哈。
你给我没得，我不要紧，你一般白天的不过夜就没得事。
不过夜我就是出个一下就来。
没得事。
我停在这旁边，该停下。
不用给钱，不用给钱。我不用给钱。
不用给钱噻，那3分之秒一下的啊，谢谢啊。
刚才说的是武汉话吗？
对，这是武汉话。你老婆没教你啊？
太难了。
也不，地方方言也不是很难。你们反正你老婆也说的就普通话。
那你是不是也会那个安徽话呢？
安徽话也会，武汉话也会。
好像很多人在那边问路什么的吧？
哎，问路的多着呢。
是吧？
那我找不到嘞，那个残疾人的我找不到啊。哎哎。
你都可以收钱呢，问路的这么多。
我这个人跟你说不爱财。
哦。
你看刚才他说要给钱给我都不要。
哦，停车的钱吗？
是啊，我都不要。没意思，几1块2块有啥意思呢？是不是？
对对对对。
把生意做好，在里面。
有钱吃，有房子什么的就可以了。那你老婆干嘛呢？
我们家有这个店子有3个。哦，
对，他也开一个吗？
对。
那另外一个呢？
儿子媳妇都搞。
哦，在哪里啊？其他2个？在
汉阳。
都在汉阳。昨天去了那个叫什么秦川阁。秦川阁的。对，也在汉阳。
秦川阁就在江边嘛。
对。那
里有一个很好的饭店，是原来武汉市最好的饭店——秦川饭店。
哦，是吗？
秦川饭店
没听过。
原来很好，现在
不怎么样。
现在被别的取代了的。原来秦川饭店的话，接待国外的贵宾。哦。哎，这几年就冷落了。它这个装修的风格啊，怎么样？原来是很高档的。是啊。现在就不行了。哦。
好吧。
慢走。
那我跑到光谷去。
是。早点看。
拜拜。Well, I'm glad we got to see our man today. He said on Monday when I came by, he was busy with something. I didn't really press him on busy with what, but he was busy with something. So, yeah, happy to give him a bit of business. All right, back on the subway we go. Well, that was a good 40 odd minutes on that one line. Across 2 trips, it was about 9 kwais, still less than $1.50, but before we head to this Barbarian King, let's see if we can stretch our legs for a bit, because we've got to take a bus to get to the Barbarian. So we'll stretch our legs in this area for a bit and stop by Spain. Spain. Right, let's not get in trouble with the riot police. We already had enough trouble with firemen. Let's try this way. See if it's feeling very Spanish. Oh folks, this is it. We're in Spain. Or at least Flamingo Square. Spain style. Dances. It's a Spanish themed shopping street. Any of you guys who have ever been to Spain or are from Spain will have to tell me just how Spanish or not this feels, because I've never been to Spain. Some knights and what looks like, I guess, some conquistadors. Very Spanish, or at least like the Chinese idea of what Spanish is. We also have German, Italian style street and Matador Square. We've got to check out Matador Square. Who knows, they might have a real matador. It wouldn't be China though without the construction noise in the background. That's how you know you're not in Spain, I guess. Plus all the Chinese riding everywhere and all the Chinese people. Now you may be wondering, why does China have this kind of street, which is some kind of foreign theme? Well, it's essentially a bit of a gimmick to try and get people to come shopping. And then also, I can see some people going up the escalator there. If you want to take photos, it's all about taking them photos, especially wedding photos. Like those two are clearly getting their wedding photos done. If you don't know how wedding photos work in China, essentially prior to the wedding, you get a bunch of wedding photos taken in different clothes and different locations. So it's not like, at least where I'm from, where you get the photos taken on the day, usually after the ceremony, right before the reception. No, you get the photos taken done beforehand. And here's our matador, bullfighting. Now the crowning jewel in our street with the European theme is the cathedral behind us, which right now looks to be a cathedral to Huawei. It's apparently kind of a copy of the cathedral in Milan. So there you go. It's a pretty big old building to get yourself a Huawei. Let's go take a closer look. I can confirm it's just hollow cladding rather than actual stone bricks. For all its kind of fakeness, it's a pretty big effort to try and attract people to come shopping here, right? Decent effort, A for effort. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think we've entered Germany. We've left Italy, Spain's long gone. Welcome to Germany. Wonder what kind of theme shops they've got here. There has to be at least one bar here, surely. They've got a fountain. They got the girl with the beers. The German theme area seems to be the least, I mean, we've had to walk the furthest in from the kind of main entrance. So this area seems to be the most deserted. Like there's a lot of kind of empty storefronts in the German area. Right, that says French style street, so lots of gardens compared to the other one, but yeah, this seems to be pretty much the end of the line. I think once we get to the end of this one, we're back in China again. Right, I think we're going to leave this kind of faux European street behind us, and just across the road there is a bus stop somewhere along here, over there. So we can catch the bus to go to find our Barbarian King. But first, I can see some shops across the road which also sell food. It's 11:30, so let's get some lunch.哎，你好。
你好，
来一碗牛肉拉面吧。
牛肉拉面。
哎，不，
好，这来吃吗
在这里吃。
？OK。
不要上菜。
不要上菜。好的。好，走。
好。These are like hand-pulled noodles. Stretches them out by hand before cooking them. Pretty nifty stuff. 谢谢。你学那个学了多久啊？
学了2年吧。
2年。
哎。
很容易吗？还是有点难？
有点难。
有点难是吧？嗯，看起来比较高级。
这个国语、中国话说的不错啊。中国话就可以。在中国待几年了
？7年多。
7年了吗？
对。
您是什么地方呢？
新西兰的。
新西兰吗？
对。你们是哪里人呢？
我们是青海。
青海的，在西边吧？
西北地区。对。北方。
哎，知道。那边很冷吧？
是很冷，高海拔地区。
是吧？
是。
Nice bowl of beef and pulled noodles. So give me the energy to go find our barbarian.
Bye-bye.
Now the owners of that shop are from Qinghai, which is a province to the west, kind of getting out towards Tibet. I'm going to assume they're going to be Qinghai Muslims from the Hui minority. There's a lot of those noodle shops which pop up all around various cities around China, to be honest, because although Hubei is only like number 9 for average income here in China, earning around just under 90,000 yuan per year, which is like less than 15 grand American. But Qinghai, where those guys are from, the average income's almost half. It's like 50,000 yuan. So yeah, a lot of them leave. I swear, man, BMWs. 3-point turn in the middle of this intersection, 5-point turn. Well, sadly, we're not going whatever this thing is, we're just taking a regular bus, but I wish we were taking that thing. Some kind of tram. Looks pretty nifty. Right, we're off the bus. It's about 1.5 k's. I think we jump on a bike and we'll see if we can't get there toot sweet. Yeah. Right, the sign said it's about another kilometer. The map says it's about another kilometer to go this way. The sign back there says no bikes. The other side said no pedestrians or bikes. So I'm being a very law-abiding citizen, and I'm on foot. I'm thankful the guard did not ask me any questions about what I'm doing here. And there's some guys playing soccer. 大学的队吗？还是？哦，谁比谁啊？
蓝打白。
哦，蓝打白就蓝色对白色呢？那是这是都是一个大学的吗？
对。
哦 ，It's a football game on. I assumed it was university against university, but it's blue team against white team from the same university. So that's that keeps it easy. All right, before we check out our barbarians, let's have a quick look at the football. It's getting a bit heated. Just off camera, there was a bit of sideline and player action, verbal, just verbal. 他们很会骂人啊！啊，他们很会骂人。
运比赛的运动人
应该是这样的。
对。你从外面走进来的，走过来的。
对，那个保安没有说什么，所以我就是。
他不管那个保安。
是吧？
我比这些人都大2届。
为什么？你高考考了几次？
我去当了兵回来的。
哦，当兵？2年？
嗯。
怎么样？
上2年还好吧？
是吧？
我什么？我没当兵之前，我性格很内向的。
哦，那现在呢？
现在可以了，
现在好多了。
对
那也是好事。
就是因为去练一下自己的胆子。
嗯。
然后去了2年，现在以前玩游戏的，现在游戏
不怎么玩了，
戒掉了。
是吧？
对。
那你父母还在你家乡那边？
对。
他们只有你一个孩子吗？
算3个吧。
3个？
全是儿子。有一个30岁了，有一个30了，有一个今年是29吧，29。
那你是？
我23嘛。
你最小的吗？
我是第2。
你第2个哦。
那个小的是7岁吧，还是8岁？
那你放假的时候回去吗？还是就在武汉？
长假回去了。放长假。
过年什么的。
5一回去一下，5一放5天，这个。那在学校人都没了。在学校也没意思。
那你们班大部分是湖北的吗？还是？
大部分是湖北的。
是吧？那你在这边习惯吗？
习惯了。不习惯也得习惯了，要是
没办法。那个墓是往后面走吗？
那个墓啊，那个一直走。
笔直走。
对，笔直走，就是一直走，不要拐弯。
好吧，那我去看看。
好，再见。
Here it is, folks, the tomb of the Barbarian King. Sadly for the Barbarian King, right next to a rubbish tip. But yes, this is the mound of the tomb. Now, who is this Barbarian King? It's kind of hard to know. Now, the sign doesn't give us much information other than that it's kind of the Barbarian King's tomb, and it was kind of preserved in 1959. By all accounts, during the kind of end of the Han Dynasty, in the early, I think it's the early kind of AD period, maybe a double-digit AD period, there was a rebellion from some non-Chinese people who were living in Chinese land, and they didn't really want to pay taxes, so they revolted, and for a while kind of had their own thing going on in this area and the nearby plains. So they had their own kind of kingdom, the Barbarian Kingdom. It's not too surprising that there's not more records, because these barbarians, whoever they were, probably didn't have a very good system of keeping records with a written language. Most of the records we've got for these guys were written by the Chinese, and probably not that flattering, seeing as they're calling them barbarians. Now, whoever this Barbarian King was, he must have been pretty important to have a proper burial mound, and according to the records, there used to be 3 of these things plus some surrounding buildings as a kind of proper place of burial. However, the other 2, one was destroyed in like 1949. I think they said they used some of the materials from the buildings to build other stuff, and then the other one was destroyed, sadly, as a lot of historic stuff was, during the Cultural Revolution. So we just have this one Barbarian King tomb left. Hope these are not power lines, because I am too tall to walk under there safely. I'm going to be in someone's kitchen at this rate. The bird just scared the shit out of me. Someone's washing is here. Oh. It's another one of these little kind of urban tombs surrounded by neighboring apartments, a rubbish tip next door, a little supermarket next door. So not the most well maintained, but it's still here. A wee bit of Chinese history and barbarian history from a couple of thousand years ago. Inside is probably just some kind of potentially body, but definitely some kind of artifacts and whatnot. I'm sure they're not going to dig it up, but they did find artifacts, I think, when they dug up the previous one during the Cultural Revolution, which would have all been disappeared. I also kind of need a haircut, so I'm tempted to go get a haircut first.
我就是没有读完中学就退学了，是吧？我自己选的。
Well, this one's certainly a lot windier.